I push past my mother as I make my way to the kitchen. She is the last person I want to speak to. Riven, honey, I know it's not something you're into, but it must be done. It's tradition. My family has been trying to reason with me for the past hour or so that this will be good for me and my wolf. And the gathering isn't that bad. In the end, it is always about tradition with them. But they don't care about what I want or desire. Hell, they never bother to ask me based on formality. Sometimes I doubt that are they even my family, especially my mother. In all honesty, my mother is a good person. As the cliché goes, she is beautiful inside and out. I am almost a spitting image of my mother. We share the same hair color, freckles, and facial features, but we do not share the same skin color. Hers is pale, while mine is caramel, which is the most obvious difference. I don't know from where I got that feature from, maybe from my aunt, but no one likes to talk about her, but I have seen her in an old family photo. She was my mother's twin sister, which is rare among the werewolf community. But my mom never talks about her, nor my grandparents, as if she never existed. I don't even know her name. So I never questioned further. Riven, honey, please. I came back to reality because of her voice, the voice that I am desperately trying to avoid. No matter how much I love this woman, I can't back down on her. I turn around and pierce through her dull brown eyes with my blue ones. Seriously, Karen, save your shit speech for someone who cares. I wanted to say this, but I couldn't, because she is a freaking Luna of the pack. I can't disrespect her. As I am about to tell her off, my father walks dressed in a suit. As he comes in, I knew instantly that shit is about to go down. His brown eyes show confusion. How could you, Dad? I am your only daughter. How is this fair? Ronan doesn't have to go through this bullshit. Riven Adams. Enough. First of all, watch your language. We have discussed this at length, and the conversation is done. I have had enough of your disrespect in my home. My dad's short fuse is something I've been living with for the past 19 years, and his yelling does nothing anymore. I scoff and roll my eyes at him and begin to open my mouth to defend myself, but the look in his eyes tells me he is only one word away from using his alpha command on me. I huff in annoyance and storm out of the house into the forest and shifted to blow off some steam. My wolf's name is Rhea. She is my only best friend. She is a very rare wolf. Our fur is navy blue, which is not normal because my father's wolf is dark black and my mother's are golden brown, but my fur color is rare. I have never seen a wolf with such fur color. She is also not a normal size wolf. Our wolf size can easily challenge any male alpha's wolf size. Rhea is even bigger than my father's wolf. That's why I never shift in front of anyone. No one has ever seen my wolf, and I think it's better that way. My family already treat me like shit, and I cannot tolerate it anymore. I and Rhea loves running. It feels amazing to feel the wind against my fur as we run. We love feeling the forest floor beneath our paws. We continue running until we feel like we've put enough distance in between my parents and me. I can't believe they would put me through this. I am an alpha's daughter, for goddess's sake. There should be a way out of this. I hate being hunted. I do get the fact that we are animals, but a part of us is also human, and they want to treat us like a wild dog. The gathering is an annual festival for unmated wolves. Every year a different pack holds it, and this year it's our turn. This means that every unmated male and female wolf from around the world would come and join the so-called fun. The gathering lasts about 3 days. The first day is to get situated. The males and females are separated from each other and placed in cabins according to their ranks. The idea of separating each other makes it more thrilling. Day 2 is the day that I dread the most, the hunt. It is exactly as horrible as it sounds. The females are removed from their cabins early in the morning and placed in an undisclosed location. The males have the opportunity to sniff around the cabins to see if their mate is present. If they are not, they are sent home. He will have to come next year or give up to be mateless, or sometimes take a chosen mate. The bond is not that strong as the true mate, but it's still there. Once everything is situated, the females are then moved to forests where the actual hunt will take place. There's a time limit of 2 hours to track down and secure your mate or wait until next year. I shudder at the thought of being hunted. In some cases, males mark their mates on the spot with or without their consent. This thought makes me cry. The same night, a bonfire is arranged for newly mated males. The third day is only for high-ranking wolves. A ceremony is held so everyone knows who the new leaders are going to be. After the ceremony, a dinner is held with the pack elders for their blessing and to give leaders time to make treaties and allies with other packs. After that, we are allowed to go home with our mates. IN. New story alert? Whispers of the Forbidden Forest will out soon. Check out my Instagram page and be the first to catch the new poster. First chapter will be out on 1st June. I hope just like this book, you all will give the same love to my new book. I continue thinking of a way to get out of this awful situation. Why can't everyone understand that not everyone wants a mate? Okay? Not literally, I do want a mate, but definitely not like this. Maybe in a different and better situation, like accidentally in a coffee shop, or a mall or movie theater, or even a party, but not like this. Not on a hunt where you are treated like a piece of meat, where they mark you with or without your consent. Sometimes I want to cry at that thought. What if my mate is an alcoholic bastard or abusive? I shudder at that thought. I would do anything just to avoid the hunt. I have heard in other regions of America, they hold an annual ball dance party every year so that people, or in our case, other werewolves, can find their mates. This idea is so enticing and definitely better than ours. Why can't our packs think like them? Why are we treated like this? Suddenly, I hear a twig snap behind me, but I didn't react on impulse because instantly I recognize his scent moving towards me. I don't move as my brother sits next to me and jab his elbow in my ribs with little pressure to make his annoying presence known to me. Hey, Rinny, what's eating you? He has been calling me Rinny since we were little. When we were learning to talk, he couldn't pronounce my name, so he used to call me Riv or Rin. When we got older, he decided to call me Rinny would be a great addition to the line of his awful nicknames that he has given me. After my wolf, my brother is the one who has always supported me. I can't say he completely understands me, but he is everything a brother should be, or maybe sometimes more than that. I and my brother are poles apart. I have short temper, but he has none. He is more of a laid-back type, with a cool attitude towards everything. He is good at masking his emotions, but I am certainly not. I am extremely stubborn and hot-headed. I shrugged at his question and don't look as I speak. I just don't get it. Why can't we wait for our mates in the cabins? Or even, I don't know, our packs? Why does it have to be like this primitive hunt? It's stupid. I state whining because I can only behave like this in front of my brother and not my pack members, at least because of me being Alpha's daughter. Rinny, it's tradition. We have been doing this for centuries, and it's a way for the packs to come together. I don't care. If the moon goddess really wanted mates to be together, don't you think we wouldn't need everyone to come to one spot? Don't you think we should just let it happen by fate? And also because this is something happening from ancient times, doesn't mean this is the right way. The time has changed. People and their behaviors change. Their beliefs change. Their methods can change too if they want to. We can't always depend on our fate. Sometimes I think it's better to take matters into your own hands. Besides, we men do like a good hunt, even if it's the hunt for our mates, he says with a playful wink. I huff at his childish remark. Why no one asks women about what they want? You men like to hunt your mates, but do you all really care whether she wants to be a part of it? You already know how dangerous it is. Last year, 2 females were raped during the gathering by their own mates, but everyone just shrugged it off like it was nothing. Even the elders didn't say anything. What are you going to do if my mate is like that? Absolutely nothing. Even if you want to, Dad or the elders won't let you, so please. They all will turn with a blind eye. I don't wait for his reply as I stood up and walked back home. This is frustrating. I feel him reach for me to say something to make me understand. But I continued moving. What's the point when I don't have the right to choose? He would say the same thing he always does about how the moon goddess left it to fate before, and mates weren't able to find each other. As a result, the offspring of the random werewolf couple not meant to be, pairings were weaker and more likely to become a rogue. I know he cares for me and my parents do too, but I can't just sit by and let my whole life be decided. Sorry, the correct word would be dictated, based on some ridiculous hunt. As I make my way home, I know what's waiting for me. The same words again, the same lecture, and the same drama. But I let my mind wander on if I'll even find my matey this year. Even if he does come to the gathering, I will do everything in my power to make sure he doesn't find me. Over the years, I have learned how to mask my scent or confuse someone by leading them in the wrong direction. I am gonna give him a strong fight, that's for sure. You just wait. My so-called future mate, I will not submit to you that easily. It's been a week since I've talked to my parents and my brother, and the gathering starts in 2 days. I am giving them the best silent treatment I can in my last days of freedom. But what surprises me, that they didn't bother to talk to me as if I don't exist. Well, partly because everyone is busy with the preparation for the upcoming hunt. There is a lot to get done, and I don't plan to help with any of it. I know I am being snotty or a brat maybe, but I don't care, because they don't care. I don't like all this, and I will make this fact known to everyone as long as I am here. I've no one to talk to since I've locked myself in my room for the last week. I am bored to hell. My wolf is itching inside my head, because she feels the same. Thank the goddess, she's the greatest gift. From her to me. She is beautiful, she is courageous, she's strong, and an extremely fast runner. I love her fur since it's unique, and I am sure she can easily challenge an alpha with her size and strength. I am locked in my room. I only go out when I need to eat something or stretch my legs or pause in my wolf case. There was nothing that anyone would say that I wanted to hear. I roll over to check my phone. I look at the time and see it's 4 p.m., and I feel my stomach groan loudly. If I am successfully able to escape being unmated, then I am going to eat a lot as a celebration, and also to keep my energy up. I walk down to the kitchen to see my mother baking for all current leaders that will be staying in the pack house. She's good at that kind of stuff. She trained me too for this kind of stuff. She says that I am going to be a perfect Luna if Celeste, Moon Goddess, mated me to an alpha. Since we were kids, my mom trained both of us how to treat our mates, and she also taught me the duties of a Luna. Her gut feeling says I'll be a mate of an alpha. My mom is a hopeless romantic. She has more fantasies for our mates than we have. As I enter the kitchen as quietly as possible, she jumps a little at the sight of me and moves towards me with purposeful steps, and immediately pulls me into a bone-crushing hug. I truly am sorry, my sweetheart. I know how much you hate this, but it must be due. I tune out the rest of the speech and gently push her away. I head over to the pantry to find something for my mood and my stomach, and exit the kitchen with her soft sobs in the background. I can feel my wolf whining at our mother's crying, but I won't give up. I've decided even if I find my mate, I will disown them as my parents. It's not like they care anyway, so why should I? But I also don't mean to hurt her. I just truly don't have anything more to say to her or anyone that I haven't said already. I hear someone come back in, and I turn around slightly expecting to see my mother. I open my mouth to apologize and see my father standing in the doorway. He looks tired, and I can tell that the 50%, cause behind it is me, and the rest of the 50%, well, of course, the so-called hunt. I sigh and set my food down on the island. Walking over to the stool, I take a seat and wait for the speech that I know will be sent my way. But to my surprise, he didn't say anything, just stand there watching, or you can say observing. I am trying to read his expressions, but as an experienced alpha, and a good one at that, he's good at hiding his emotions. You know, I love you more than your brother because you're exactly like your mother. I snort at his statement. Love? Yeah, right. You remind me of your mother when she was young, you know. I didn't expect that, but I don't reply, but this conversation is definitely taking a different road than I expected. She was very much against the idea of the hunt as well. I remember the second I caught her scent in the cabins, I was instantly in love with her. He laughs to himself. I'll never forget the first word she said to me. She had evaded me in the forest for 3 hours, and I thought I would have to try and wait till next year to see her. I had already been sent home the 5 years prior, as she was too young to attend, and thought this year was 6. When I did see her, it was as if my whole world stopped. She was and still is the most beautiful person alive, and I fell in love with her even more when she gave me 2 beautiful kids. He stopped for a moment, as if he was back in the forest with her. I had caught her, and she looked at me with such fire in her eyes that I almost flinched. She told me that if I didn't take my hands off of her, she will never let me touch her, let alone mark her. But eventually she gave in to the mate pull, and it was the best thing that has ever happened to her, in fact, to the both of us. Gathering is not that bad. Please, just give it a chance. After his speech, he simply walked out, leaving me stunned. Talking to my mother now, you have never guessed that she was against the idea of gathering. But I still am not ready, and my gut feeling that something is going to happen this year will change my life forever. Rinny, let's go. Packs will be arriving soon. I hear my brother's annoying and exciting voice from outside my room. I groan in protest, but get up anyway. I shower and pack the clothes that I will need for the cabin. On the way there, I see females from the other packs arrive. While I decided to go with the leggings, a sweatshirt, and my sports shoes would be fine, most of these females decided to take a dressier and more elegant approach. I didn't really care about my dressing. I am just not sure how they're going to run in heels. Maybe they want to be caught unlike me. I make my way to the Alpha Beta cabin and go to the assigned room. The high-ranking cabin has about 30 rooms. Each room has 2 beds and a single bathroom. Unless there are siblings, the children of Alphas or Betas of each pack share a room. My father's Beta has 2 sons, so I get a room to myself. I set my bag on the foot side of the bed and walked downstairs. Other girls were mingling with each other, and as I am the daughter of the Alpha, it's my job to socialize and also to make sure everyone is situated. I may not be satisfied with the gathering and all this rubbish, but the arrangements in the cabins are done by my pack members, so I can't let my pack down. It's my duty to represent my pack as gracefully as I can. I give the girls a mini tour and direct them all to their rooms. I give them their own time to explore and freshen up while I wait downstairs for them to unpack, and I busy myself looking out the window to enjoy the view. Sometime later, I hear a cough behind me, and I turn around to see a girl wearing a white tank top, which is too tight to even breathe in it, and blue jeans. Her black hair is in a sleek ponytail, and her green eyes look me over like I am a bug. So, I drag out to catch her attention. Her eyes snap back to mine as she gives me a forced smile. I am Victoria Weston, and I'm the daughter of Alpha Rohan Weston. The way she speaks to me as I am below her tells me all I need to know about her. Alpha Rohan is one of the few Alphas to have an only daughter as an heir. Most Alphas have children until they have a son. It is a sign of weakness to hand down your pack to a female, especially the unmated one. Huh, hypocritical bastards, I say in my mind. How old are you? I ask her politely. 20. You? Her reply is short and to the point. I can tell she wants nothing to do with me either. 18. Any idea who your mate will be? Her eyes lit up at my question like I just offered her her favorite candy. She smirks as she begins to talk. I know, actually. If you know who he is, then why are you not together? I asked her cautiously. He has been unable to attend the past 2 years due to pack complications. She seems annoyed by my further questioning and picks at her nails. I think she is a psycho. There have been few males who choose not to attend the gathering, but the only one that sticks out in my mind, Alpha Zayden. Zayden King is the only name that stands out. There are many packs known for being cruel, and his pack is known for being most cruel. And his pack was moved to the top of the list recently, with the largest territory. He is 24 years old and has not found his mate yet. He was handed the Alpha position one night before his 18th birthday after his mother died, and his father was on the verge of insanity, so being unable to lead his people anymore, Alpha Zayden took his place. When he did not find his mate at the first gathering, he went ballistic. He destroyed his cabin and immediately went back to his back. His pack has been terrorizing their neighbors ever since. It only got worse as the next few years he went on still mateless. This girl is truly insane if she wants to mate with a person like that. Surely he would be ruthless and mark his mate on the spot. Before I could voice my opinion and call her crazy, other girls came down and we all introduced ourselves. They were a mixed bag of girls I liked and others that I wanted nothing to do with. One girl, Emma Marks, immediately struck me as a girl I actually wanted to be my friend. She had her blonde hair in a messy bun and was dressed like me. She had freckles and her eyes rolled way too much in those eye sockets. She is feisty, and her tongue is more like a scissor, too sharp. Damn. Finally, my kind of girl. It was later in the evening when I decided to go to bed and leave the other girls to talk in the living room. I wasn't tired. I just couldn't be bothered to pretend like I was okay with all this shit anymore. My jaw was sore, literally because of all the fake smiles that I was wearing all day, because of our personal mingling time. My wolf was growling in my head because of this whole arrangement. But we don't have the right to complain. It's not we have a choice or something. Suddenly, I heard a knock on the door, and the person I least expected entered in my room. I smirk at this intrusion. Well, well, look who's here. I heard a knock on my door, and before I could say anything, Emma came in and sat on one of the chairs across from my bed. Wow, she made herself comfortable already? I looked at her with one raised brows as she looked around the room as if to inspect it, then back to me. She stretched her hand towards me with a smile to shake and shrugged. Emma Marks, just in case you forgot. Riven Adams, and trust me, I didn't forget. She smiles at my reply and continues. So, how much do you love the idea of being hunted? I, for the one, think that this is the vilest way of meeting the man destined for me. Sure, I'll get over it with time and most likely love him, whoever the poor guy is. But it's ridiculous. I have to be tracked down like an animal, you know. I shot up instantly and excitedly. Thank God. Finally, someone who shared the same thoughts as mine. I am telling you, Ems, we are going to be very good friends. Ems, well, that's new. I think the same, she said, by mirroring my enthusiasm. So what's your story? Why do you don't like the idea of gathering? She asked curiously. Trust me, girl. Not liking the idea is an understatement. I absolutely hate the idea of this so-called hunt with all my heart and soul. And why is that? There must be some reason for you to do that? I mean, hating the idea of the hunt? She asked with a raised eyebrow. You're right, there's a reason, I stated. And that is? She interrupted me again. I sighed and informed her about everything that I have been going through and about my family. How they are treating me just because I don't share the same thoughts and ideologies as them about my fight with my mom and my father. Damn, girl, that's deep, but I totally agree with you, she said. So, do you think you'll meet your mate this year? She asked again, but this time with caution. I shrugged, not knowing how to answer that question because I honestly don't. So I did the only thing that I could. I changed the topic of our conversation because the more I talk about it, the more frustrating it is, and we talked for quite some time, and I must say this girl just loves talking. She reminds me of my childhood human friend, Antiope. She is a freaking radio, or should I say chatterbox. By the end of her rant, her eyes were sparkling and looking at me with the same fire I have in mind when I express my hatred for the gathering. In the end, I am smiling like an idiot, for sure, while listening to her chatter, and I am glad I finally found a new friend, and I nod in my head, at least. Now I know whether I find my mate or not, but I have found a new friend. I know exactly what you mean. I feel the same way. What pack are you from anyway? I asked in the middle of our conversation. She rolls her eyes again playfully at the thought of her potentially old pack. I am Beta Mark's daughter. My father is Victoria's uncle on her mother's side, and trust me, I am nothing like her. Thank goddess, too, for that. I smile at her and tell her that whether she likes it or not, the thought of being us friends officially. And she agreed instantly. I must say she's good at socializing. She's a natural, while I am not because I am an introvert. I only socialize when I feel the need to. With her smile and the way she talks, she can make friends easily, unlike me. I can socialize only when needed, but I don't make friends easily. Emma just seems trustworthy. Ems and I talked all night about everything we could think of. In the short amount of time I've known her, I can already tell she's a good and a very genuine person, and I enjoy being around her. The way she holds herself with confidence, but not overconfidence and arrogance. Something her cousin obviously couldn't master. For being around her cousin a lot, they aren't very similar. She opened up to me right away, and I couldn't help but do the same. As we were talking, Victoria came in to interrupt our conversation and basically dragged Emma back to their room. Something tells me she is scared of being alone at night. What a brave daughter of an alpha, I said in my head. I shot Victoria a glare for entering my room without permission, but she definitely doesn't understand the meaning of personal space, and I sent Emma a sympathetic look because I can't help her in this situation. According to the rules, she has to stay with Victoria. I apologetically wave goodbye to her, and she mirrors the same expression as mine. I know she doesn't want to go, but this damn Victoria took away my new friend. I wasn't really tired yet, so I decided to take a hot shower. After burning just about all feelings from my body, I exited the shower and blow-dried my hair. I chose to eat something sweet before cuddling up in my soft bed. What, it's a habit. I like having hot chocolate with a nice movie with the warmth of my soft bed. Before I sleep, and because of all the stress, I definitely need a hot chocolate. I prepared a mug of hot chocolate and put on an action movie. I am a sucker for them, and I loathe the romantic ones. In the middle of the movie, my eyes started to feel heavy and feeling that I am exhausted, so I didn't waste any time welcoming the darkness and my sweet dream world where I am free and happy and independent and without a mate. The next morning, I am violently shaken awake by an unknown force. I shoot up only to knock heads with the unknown force, and Giggles gives the identity away instantly. I open my eyes to see Emma looking down at me with a big smile and rubbing her head. Wake up, sleepyhead, time to go. I turn away from her and groan at the thought of moving out of my warm bed. I groan at the thought of moving out of my comfort of warm bed. I groan even loudly to make it obvious that the thought of moving at all is bothering me. It should be a sin to get out of bed before 10 a.m. I am so not a morning person. I pulled the duvet all the way up to cover myself completely. Hey, no, you can't sleep again. It took me about 15 minutes to wake you up, she said while giggling like a schoolgirl. I try to pull the duvet over my head, but the intruder in my room has another evil plan. She rips the duvet off and kicks me out of the bed. The sound I make hitting the ground sounds a lot worse than it already is. I hear her gasp and she runs towards me. Are you all right? Yeah, thanks to you I feel fantastic, I replied sarcastically. She giggled again on my remark. This giggling habit of her is getting on my nerve now. I let out a playful but loud groan to show annoyance and throw a pillow that came off the bed with my left hand at her head. I catch her off guard as she stands stunned. She stares at me as her look of shock, which slowly turns to one of mischief. She picks up a pillow and swings it at my head and hits on the spot. I playfully glare at her. This means war, and you, my dear Emma, are so dead, I say, pointing my index towards her. Bring it on. I am not afraid of your empty threats. She replied while checking her nails as if she doesn't care. Empty threats, huh? Let me show you what I mean by the real threat. I swing the pillow towards her, and it hits on her face. She does the same, and we are instantly in a pillow fight, or you may call it a pillow war. After a few minutes, we hear an unimpressed snort coming from the doorway, and there stands yours truly, the Queen Victoria. There she stands in all her glory, with look of disappointment and disgust on her face that is already full of makeup. I am not surprised to see you messing around, Emma. I mean, such childish behavior can be expected from you only. Then she turns her gaze towards me. I expected more from an alpha's daughter. But guess what? Not everyone can be as graceful as me if you both are done with your childish antics, so please get ready, everyone's waiting downstairs. She turns, flicking her hair over her shoulder arrogantly, and continues down the hall and disappears. Emma and I both roll our eyes and erupt in a fit of gigglies. Then I start to get ready, and Emma clear the mess that we both created in my room. After that, we both move downstairs and see everyone was gathering together waiting for each other. We waited for the rest of the girls together. We wait until there was a knock on the door signaling it was time to go. I open the door to see my father's best warriors. I look at them with my best puppy dog face, begging them to let me stay and hide me somewhere else. They don't even give me a sympathetic look and just stand there expressionless. I know I can't complain because they are trained like this. A true warrior will never reveal his/her emotion. We are all ushered into vehicles and brought to a bunker below the field we will be set loose in. I am surprised that even I did not know about this field or bunker before now. I run these forests every day and know them like the back of my hand. I'm sure I would have noted a bunker at least. I guess it makes sense that it would be seen as an unfair advantage to me if I had time to memorize these hidden bunkers. I mentally facepalm myself for not exploring the forest grounds properly. If I had known about these bunkers, I would have time to plan something to save myself from this torture. We are held underground for a few hours and girls are getting restless. Are we prisoners or something? I want to take a nap, but the walls down here echo way too much for my liking. When the warriors came back, they secretly informed me that this is the first time that no males were sent home this year. Oh my goddess, I am doomed. There are high chances that among those males, one of them is my mate. I mentally note that this year, the list also includes the king. I mentally roll my eyes on the thought that Ms. Queen Victoria will be thrilled to hear the breaking news. She really wants that awful man to be her mate. That girl is batshit crazy. Emma mentioned in our earlier conversation that she doesn't even have a slightest hint of how he looks. Actually, no one knows, except a few alphas. Guess he's not a very social person. But I can only wish to the goddess that don't let me be near him. His name is enough to give me a thrilling shrill in my whole body. I hope my mate is a simple man. I'll accept him even if he's not an alpha. Actually, it will be even better if my mate is not an alpha. My life will be much simple. But if he's an alpha, then as a Luna, first I will have to submit my wolf to the alpha. The warriors came back. They secretly informed me that the first time that no males were sent home this year. We are also told that there are more females to males at this year's gathering, and a list of names is posted at the door of those who will be sent home. While it is uncommon, it's not impossible for the female to be older than the male. When that is the case, it's generally only a year at most. And even if a female is older than his mate, the mate pull is so strong that it won't let you reject your mate. It takes a lot of willpower and strength to reject a mate. And even if you reject it means you are rejecting the other half of your soul. Because of that, even if you choose another mate, you will never feel content. I am not sure if I have that willpower in me. That's why I simply want to leave this place. As soon as the gate of the bunkers opened, I sprint my way to the list, silently praying my name is there. I scan the list for what it seems like hours, but my name is nowhere to be found. I checked it again and again just to be extra sure, but luck is definitely not on my side. I huff in annoyance and feel Emma by my side. She is also following my lead. We both are desperate to leave this hell. After making sure that our name is not on the list, she pulls me away, and we take a seat near the entrance of the bunker, and sit quietly for few moments doing nothing but staring in an unknown direction for God knows how long. My mind is numb, thinking and playing of all the possible scenarios of how to run away from this place. I am not ready to submit to my mate. I need few more years of my life to live independently. Being mated to someone means if your mate accepts you, he will cherish you and make you feel wanted and loved for the rest of his life. But according to me, it also means that you are going to be tied to be someone for the rest of your life, and doing household chores or taking care of kids. I do want all of that. But when I feel ready for all of it, I am not ready for that responsibilities yet. I can't help but think of what's going to happen tonight. We watch as girls make their way out the door. Many are crying, and many of them just seem lost. But it's hard to tell if they are tears of joy, relief, or disappointment. If they are disappointed, then I want to shake them badly, and I want to shout that they are lucky and can have my mate as a gift. I'd be happy to trade, but one hard look from Emma tells me to keep quiet in this situation. I scan the swarm of girls that are still present in the room and see that Victoria is indeed still present. To my surprise, she is talking to few low-rank warriors' daughters and omegas. She didn't really strike me as one to mingle with anyone but alphas and betas and high-ranking warriors. But it's a good thing if she's talking to them. Maybe I judged her too quickly. Maybe she's not a bad person, but just a little crazy. I try to listen to their conversation, but unable to do so due to too much echo and noises from outside and inside the bunker as well. So I turn my attention to my new friend Emma. who's continuously bouncing her knee and biting her nails as a clear sign of nervousness or fear, maybe. I place me palm on her bouncing knee and try to stop her and divert her mind from the current situation. "Hey, what's wrong?" She shakes her head to signal nothing but not liking the way she is acting. I press on. "I am going to keep annoying you till you tell me so, just spit it out," I said to her. She looks back at me with worried eyes. What if my mate is a bad person? What if he thinks I am too weak? What if he rejects I cut her off before she can continue her final question, because I know what she's thinking. Even I am having same thought as hers. But I can't tell her that. First off, the moon goddess would never pair someone like you with a bad man. You are too kind. And if she did, you know you have the power to change him for the better. Secondly, for anyone to assume you to be weak is an idiot. You may not have the biggest frame or a scary frame, but even a blind person can realize that you are strong both mentally and physically. Your mate will not reject you, I promise you that. The second he sees you and smells your scent, you will be the most important person in his life. So keep these thoughts out of your head, because they would only increase the stress levels and your blood pressure, which is neither good for your heart, and kidneys and lungs and everything else. And also, stress only makes you look ugly, so any kind of irrational thoughts won't do you any good. Understand? She nods slowly, and I give her a hug. Also, if he does reject you, I'll hunt him, and then kill him painfully. I add the last part, just to make her laugh and succeed, because I need her laugh and silly babbling to keep me and my mind wandering off to my own negative thoughts. We talk some more, and I start to see her calm down and relax. We both make it a promise to find each other before the festival is done. Emma is relaxed now, but I am not. I am smiling on the outside, but my mind is in a huge chaos. I will only relax when all of this drama is over. When it was time we were finally released like caged animals, my palms were sweating from nervousness, thinking of all the possible scenarios. What if my mate is a jerk? What if he's an abusive asshole? What if he's a sadist? I feel Emma squeezing my hand to remind me that she is here. She looks at my way and blinks slowly to remind me my own words and also ensuring me that she's with me. We were ushered out of the bunker. The light is blinding as we are lined up on the far side of the field. The males are about 250 meters away and standing downwind of us. This makes it incredibly difficult for the females to pick out our mates, but easy for the males to pick out theirs. Due to flow of wind, they can easily recognize our scent, but because our minds are mostly occupied in hunt, we don't get the time to identify the scent of our mates. I eye up these males as much as I can from this distance and try to pick out my mate. Many were already shifted, and seeing the display of fur of different colors was actually fascinating and quite captivating. As I stand next to Emma, she tightly grips my hand. We both know there is a little chance of escaping without a mate, but we won't go down without a fight. I squeeze back her hand to let her know it will be okay, and whisper her, "Run as fast as you can, don't look back. Let's give our mates a true taste of this so-called hunt. He is not just supposed to hunt, but also earn our respect from us." The gun is shot off, and I give Emma one last look, because only Moon Goddess knows what's going to happen tonight, whether we will able to see each other or not, and I release her hand and run for my life. I run in zigzag, way through the trees to make it harder to track my scent. Already I can hear the thumps of shifted males nearing, but I don't look back or slow down. I still remember the promise that I made to myself, that I will give my mate hard time. And I have every intention to fulfill my promise. I run. And I run as fast as wind, not even breaking a sweat. I have been running in these woods since childhood, so there's no problem for me to find my way and not to get lost. I am still in my human form, because in this way I will not leave much of my scent. Already I can hear the thumps of shifted males nearing, but I don't look back or slow down. Also, I can't show my wolf to anyone just yet. She's quite big and can overtake on any male wolf, and that can grab much unnecessary attention. I want her to be safe. I hear girls shriek as they are being caught, and the occasional screams as some are marked by force. A shrill pass through my spine at the thought of that. but this only fuels me to run harder and faster. I hear steps in the distance and know it will be impossible to outrun most males, especially if they are of higher rank, because they are naturally fast and well-trained. But I will not give up. I push myself harder. My lungs have started to burn due to lack of oxygen in my system, but right now I shut down the pain in the back of my mind. There's no time to deal with that right now. When I realize I am far enough, I stop for a moment to catch my breath and survey the area. These part of the fields are secluded and are occupied by the wild animals. This place is occupied by large trees and long grasses. It's easy to hide here. But that also makes this area predictable to hide, so I don't think I want to take any chances. I find the tallest tree I can and immediately start to climb. I get to a safe height from the ground and take off through the trees. I hear 3 shots go off in sequence, in signaling there are 30 minutes left of this hell. My hands are raw and bloody, which is not good because blood leaves a strong trail of scent and make wolves desperate to search their mate from gripping the trees. But I still wait for some more time. I can't let my guard down so easily. What if he's hiding out there too? After 10 more minutes, I drop onto the forest floor. There's not much time left for the final gunshot. I land as gently as possible, without making much noise, and try to listen and observe for any kind of movement. Silence. That's all I can feel and hear right now. I turn to make my way further from the field, and I come across with sound of nature, so I decided to relax a bit. If this was any normal day, I definitely would have taken a nap here. The long grass and trees feels nice beneath the feet. After 10 more minutes, I make my way further from the field, and I am caught off guard when I bump into a hard wall. Wait. A wall? Here in the middle of the forest. Something's not right. I look up to identify what kind of wall is blocking my path, but then I realize that it's not a wall that's blocking my path. A chest is the first thing that registers in my mind. A naked chest, I might add. Which can be considered a wall. My hands automatically touch those hard planes of chest, and I feel sparks and feel relaxed for a split second until I realize what this means. Mate. Mate. I look up at the male to study him. His hair is dirty blonde color that suits his tanned skin. He has a sharp jawline and his lips looks pink and soft. My eyes make way down his body to his muscular chest and stop at his navel to his V-line, and my eyes become as wide as saucer. Damn it, he's naked and extremely perfect, down there. My blue eyes snap to his dark brown ones. He looks me in the eyes but doesn't say anything. His face remains stoic and he takes his time looking me over, just like I did. I feel his eyes drag up and down my body and I feel my face flush. I must look like a joke right now. Hope he doesn't make fun of me. He looks in my eyes again, and I can see a hint of smirk and amusement in his eyes and on lips. Damn those lips. I am jealous now. They are so pink and kissable. Name, age, and rank pup. It takes me a second to take in what he says, but the second I do, I realize, pup, seriously. He called me a pup. Do I look like a pup? I said in my head, and I immediately scowl at him. Riven Adams, age 19, Alpha's daughter, and I am not a pup. I added the last part bitterly and stand up straighter and push my chin out with pride. He leans down to get to my eye level with me. He's maybe 6 inches taller than me, not enough to warrant this action. He seemed to be deciding his next move, and after what feels like a lifetime, but that was actually just a few seconds, he straightened up and suddenly walked away. And for a moment, I am glad at least he doesn't seem like an abusive or a sadist bastard. But he's walking away from me. Why? Is this his way of rejecting me? Hey, where are you going? I don't even know your name. I shouted from my spot, refusing to move. He turned around and looked at me like I have grown 2 heads, or like I am an idiot. I am going back to my cabin, and you are to follow me, he said with indifference, as if he's not talking to his mate, but an enemy. Is he going to reject me in front of everyone? Hell no. Not a chance. I am not going anywhere with you until you tell me your name. For all I know, you could be a mass murderer, I exclaimed. Without a word, he calmly turned back to me and grabbed my arm in a death grip. With his other hand, he gripped my chin and tilted to look at him. "You will do as you're told, or you will be punished accordingly. Don't test me, girl. I am not one of those people who go back on their words. What I choose to do in my personal space is none of your concern, whether that be killing or not. Do you understand me?" he said, with all the seriousness. I didn't respond immediately, and his hold on my arm tightened, successfully, replacing any tingles with the sparks of pain. "Do you understand me, Riven?" His calm demeanor was gone and was replaced by rage I've never seen before. I nod hastily and try to pull away. He releases my chin, but his grip on my arm remained. I think he's sure that once get the chance, I'll run away from him. Until now, I have not found a reason good enough that would want me stay with him anyway. My wolf also agrees with me. Because any relationship demands respect first and then after, that comes the L letter word. And she's not happy with the way our mate is treating us. I don't dare speak or open my mouth to ask any question. Not because I am a coward, but because something tells me that he's not going to answer my questions right now. I do have a big mouth, but I also know how to balance the situation. We reach the clearing, and I see all the other girls with their mates. Each couple seems to be happier than the last time I saw these girls. I feel a tinge of sadness in my heart. My mate XYZ seems unaffected by me, unlike these other males. How romantic. I continue to scan the crowd to search for familiar pack members. Suddenly, my gaze falls on my brother, who's standing with a short red-haired female. He looks at her with loving eyes, and I am truly happy for him. I didn't recognize her from my pack. Maybe she's from the neighboring packs, but she looks like she would be a great Luna. I am happy for my brother. I am dragged further into the clear field, relieved to see that no one is paying attention to us. What a sight we must be. A naked male in all his glory dragging a female who wants to be anywhere but here, among the crowd of happy mates. As I follow along, he releases his grip on me, sensing I won't flee, and I try to rub the tingles away. They are making me dizzy. I notice we are walking towards another mated pair, and the second I see the mess of blonde hair, I sprint over to them. I hear my still-to-be-named mate growl at me, but I don't stop. Emma turns when she hears the growl and sees me running towards her. She meets me halfway, and we crush each other in tight hugs as if we are meeting after a long time. "Thank Goddess you're okay. When I didn't see you here when I got here, I thought that you were hurt. Where is your mate? Is he nice? I see he hasn't marked you yet. That's a plus, right? That's what you wanted, right?" Emma rambles, and only stop when she sees the look on my face. "What's wrong? What did he do? You look pale? Should I call the warriors? They'll kill him? He's not a sadist or a bastard, right?" As soon as she threatens his life, I hear an earth-shattering growl, and I am ripped away from her. The fear in her eyes is obvious as she looks to the male I am pressed against. I hope their meeting goes well, unlike me. N. Thank Goddess you're okay. When I didn't see you here when I got here, I thought that you were hurt. Where is your mate? Is he nice? I see he hasn't marked you yet. That's a plus, right? That's what you wanted, right? Emma rambles and only stop when she sees the look on my face. What's wrong? What did he do? You look pale? Should I call the warriors? They'll kill him? As soon as she threatens his life, I hear an earth-shattering growl, and I am ripped away from her. The fear in her eyes is obvious as she looks to the male I am pressed against. I hope their meeting goes well, unlike me. Emma's mate pulls her behind him and take position in a defense stance. He stares down my mate. They are both silent, and I take this time to briefly study him. His features are similar to my mate's, and I assume they are somehow related. Take control of your mate, Lorcan. I will not have my life threatened by that pup again without repercussions. I do not care that you are my beta or my brother. My theory by his last statement is confirmed, and take notice that people are watching us. Of course anyone would take notice. I look like a lost kid standing beside a naked male who is no less than a giant. People take notice of my mate as if he is a rare species. Even high-rank males of other packs seem to be afraid of him. But why? Now that I am sure my mate is an alpha, but that doesn't mean that everyone should be afraid of him. It's not like he's a royal blood. Royal-blooded wolves rarely attend the hunt, and I know for sure that he is not a royal blood. But I am relieved of the fact that Emma will be coming to the same pack as me. I may have just met her, but I don't think I would be able to handle the transitions without her. The man who I assume is Lorcan nods at my mate, and I freeze when he speaks the words that shocked me to my core. I assure you, it will not happen again, Alpha King. I will take care of it. Holy shit. I am so done. I am mated to Alpha King. Alpha Zayden King! No freaking way! Why, Moon Goddess, why? What did I do to deserve this piece of shit as my mate? Sorry, a piece of very fine and hot shit? This cannot be happening. For a moment, I feel that I am going to die here due to heart attack. I try to gain back my senses and struggle to get away from him, but his hold on me becomes even tighter. I look at him, and he gives me a sadistic smile and says, "Well, little mate, now you know my name and my position, so I would like to officially welcome you to my pack, Riven Adams, daughter of an alpha. Oh no, maybe I should correct my statement. Riven Adams, King Luna of the Blood Eclipse pack." I stand there with my mouth open, gaping at him. Never ever in my life I imagined my mate to be him. I mean, I get it. He seems powerful and all, and he radiates the strongest aura among all the males present here, but Alpha of the Blood Eclipse pack? Never in my current life and afterlife and a life even after that, I would have expected him to be my mate. My days of freedom are so over. I look towards Emma to see her face paled and her eyes looking at me with worry. And I share the same worry as her. But her mate seems nice. At least he will take care of her, but I can't say the same about mine. I look from her to her mate, back at her again, as I am about to speak to ensure her not to worry about me. I don't get the chance to... I hear a shrill shriek come from the side of me, just as I am about to turn. I am knocked over by another person. I dodge most of the punches and get in the fighting stancy, but before the things get really dirty, my assailant is ripped away from me. I am not sure what just happened, but this person definitely hates. I inhale and exhale slowly to relax my mind, and try to take a look towards my assailant and see Victoria being held back by who I assume is her mate. "You whore! How dare you be mated with him? You knew he was mine!" She struggles against her capturer, and that's when I realize I am also being held back. I feel the tingles on my arm and know that it's Zayden, but I do my best to ignore them. These sparks are messing with my head. How am I a whore? You think this was my choice? You act like this was my plan all along. Wake up, Queen Victoria. You're not a real queen. I haven't even known you long enough to plot some evil plan against you. I replied in a calm manner, which I am totally not. Things will only get worse if I also start to act like a 3-year-old like her. Zayden is rubbing my arm in a soothing manner to calm me. I feel tingles all the way up on my arm, which are pretty distracting, but it makes me feel good for a while for this simple gesture, which was unexpected from him. But I am glad. Maybe he's not that bad as everyone assume. I can feel the body heat that's coming from him. It's also very soothing and calming. Victoria, on the other hand, is going crazier by each passing second. She smirks and says something unexpected that makes me and my mate freeze on the spot. "Reject him. Reject him." Excuse me? Yeah, you heard me. Reject him then. I was dumbfounded for a moment. She is saying this as if it is a normal thing to do. You obviously don't seem to be thrilled to be matched with him. Reject him and you can be happy then, or if you want, we can exchange. You can have my mate. He's also a high-rank warrior from the same pack. Or you can be alone. That's what you want, right? This is your chance. You can have a happy life again. I overheard you talking to Emma, and it's not a hidden fact here that you like this idea of hunt, so there shouldn't be a problem for you. In fact, you can be independent and can explore the world just like you wanted, right? I feel the body behind me go stiff at her statement. His chest vibrates violently with the growl. He is trying to keep down his temper, I can feel by his body heat, and for a moment I fear that he will lose his shit and will shift into his wolf. Although I am not whether he's angry at me or on Victoria, his arms around me tightens as if he's warning me. Does that mean he's mad at me? I am at complete loss of words. On one hand, I probably would be happier with a different male by my side. From the interactions we've had today, I won't doubt that. On the other hand, even if I reject him and move on, I would always have a hole in my soul from where he is supposed to be. In our world, mate means our other half of your soul, and they are chosen by Moon Goddess for us, for a reason. And there's a probability that this will make my wolf weak or maybe berserk. And I don't want that for my wolf. If there's someone I love and cherish the most in my life, that is my wolf. I may be selfish for this, because I am thinking about myself only and not about my mate. But I am not happy with him either. It's one thing to have met your mate and move on, but it's another when you've met them and try to move on without them. My wolf is also not responding in this situation. In fact, she's silent since the moment we've met our mate. She doesn't seem so ecstatic after meeting our mate like the other normal couples around here. I am stumped. I don't know how to respond on this thought. Just as I was about to speak up again, I feel Emma take a place next to me. The look she gives her cousin makes me want to curl into Zayden's chest to hide from her icy glare. She looks ready to pounce on her cousin at any time. It's not that simple, Victoria, and you know it. Even if she is not happy in this very moment, she will be in the future. How can you really expect her to give a chance of a happy future? How can you expect her for some twisted fantasy you have? You think he would want you after you made his mate reject him? You are truly sick in the head, cousin. I think it's about time you realize that fact. Emma said each word venomously. How dare you, Emma? You are my cousin. You are supposed to be on my side, and here you siding with that whore. Victoria sneered. It's not about taking sides, Victoria. It's about right and wrong. You already have found your mate, but still you are not appreciating him. He was chosen by Moon Goddess for you for a reason. Learn to cherish him. Emma said while trying to be calm, and I am happy to see her mate supporting her. For a moment, everything was still. I tore my gaze off Emma to Victoria to see her storm off, her mate only a step behind her. And I instantly feel a little bad for him, because it seems he's already in love with her. And Victoria is being Victoria, I guess. I step out of Zayden's grasp to hug and thank Emma. I turn towards my mate first to see acceptance in his eyes for Emma, and in a way, I am glad he's accepting her because of their first meeting. I was scared for her. The second, it's there. However, it's gone instantly. A squeak-like sound comes from my mouth, and, in a flash, I am over his shoulder being carried off to what I assume is our cabin. I mouth a quick thank you to Ems, who nod in return with a smile and wave goodbye. I zone out most of the walk and move only to get a more comfortable position on Zayden's shoulder. What if he mark me there? What if he tries to force himself on me? What if uses some other means to make me submit to him? There are so many questions going on in my mind, and they are making me nervous. His hard muscles are poking in my ribs, but I can't complain. Well, especially because he doesn't answer my question, because he's a big bad alpha, or maybe he's like this with me only. I am still not sure whether he have accepted me or not. When I am put down, I expected to be in the male cabins, but as I look around in shock when I see we are standing in the middle of my bedroom, my face goes red when I see my dirty bra and panties laying out on the floor, but Zayden's gaze is on me and me only, and I thank Goddess for that. He is silently watching me with a neutral expression, and it's hard to tell what he's thinking. I open my mouth to speak, but he beats me to it. Were you going to reject me? Were you going to reject me? He almost looks fragile at this moment, but the anger in his eyes throws me off. Someone so powerful can be so vulnerable, but I am not sure if his anger is directed towards me or Victoria. What? For the second time in a single day, I am dumbfounded. Are you deaf, little girl? I asked you, were you going to reject me? He asked again, with a calm tone, but the hidden warning and storm in those is as clear as crystal. Are you truly so unhappy with the fact that I am your mate, that you were going to reject me back there in that field? Are you really that desperate to leave me already? Tell me. Before I could explain myself, I was up against the wall nose to nose with him. I was sandwiched between his hard body and the wall behind. Answer me! He growled and punched the wall so hard that it got cracked due to such strong impact. Don't lie to me, pup. If you plan on rejecting me, do it now because this is the only time I will accept it. If you try later on, I will not accept it. No matter how much you beg or run away from me, if you do not reject me at this very moment, you will be mine. Indefinitely. So think and think. Hard make up your mind once and for all, because this is your only chance. I could tell he was serious, and I mulled over his words. No matter how much it displeases me to be this male's mate, I don't think I can reject him. It's not easy to reject someone and move on. I surely don't have feelings for him yet, but I can't reject him. I don't have the power to. I should give him a chance. Apparently, my prolonged silence is all he needs for confirmation that I am not rejecting him. He nods his head and leaves my room before telling me to get ready for the bonfire. I stare at my bedroom door in shock for a few moments before begrudgingly doing as I am told. I take a quick shower to get rid of all the dirt and leaves and twigs that got stuck in my hair, making them look like a bird's nest, and also from my rest of the body. My wounds are healed now, perks of being a werewolf. After shower, I use the towel to wipe my body. I don't have time to apply some body lotion, so I just slip on my maroon leggings and a white t-shirt before brushing out my hair and put them in a high ponytail. I throw on some mascara and make my way out of the bathroom. I don't like lipsticks, but I applied lip balm on my lips to keep them moisturized. I jump in surprise to see Zayden in my bedroom checking out old photos of me. He turns towards me and check me out, like literally check me out from top to bottom. I was expecting a compliment from my mate, but the only thing that I got in return is a frown from him. This guy seriously need to chill out. He has a special talent to ruin someone's mood. Put something else on, he ordered. I look at him with a confused face. He sighs, already getting annoyed, and continues. The clothes you are wearing are too bright. I don't want... Wait, let me correct myself. I don't need... Other males looking at you when you move around. Change into something darker and baggier. My mouth makes an O shape as he make his point. I somewhat understand his reasoning, and not wanting to argue, I make my way back into my closet. Males are extra possessive of their mates, and in case of higher rank wolver, it's even worse. So I understand his situation. I throw on a zip-up and black leggings. This is as baggy it will get. I come back out, and he seems to be less than thrilled about my new outfit. With a huff, he rips off the gray hoodie he is wearing and tosses it at me. I put it on, and before I exit my closet for the third time, I take a whiff of his scent. The woodsy smell instantly calms my nerves, and I exit my bedroom with him on the front. His broad body frame is enough to hide me completely. The hoodie comes down to my thigh and looks way too big on me. I decide to tuck half of it in, but Zayden's growl stopped me from doing so. I look up at him, and he looked ready to explode. Don't you dare to raise that shirt up. It's fine as it is, so there's no need to tuck it in, he said in anger. But it's too big on me, that's why I was just adjusting it a little bit to make it look better and comfortable. In a flash, he was in front of me, his nose almost touching mine. Are you trying to flaunt yourself to other males, mate? I shake my head in response as he continues. I would hope not, because you are mine. Your body, your soul, your everything. And I mean it. Everything about you is mine. You will wear tight clothes only for me and cover up when I tell you to. He grips my waist with one hand and my butt with other hand. My shocked face must give him pleasure because he smiles that sadistic smile and pulls me flush against his body. He breaks eye contact and leans close to my ear. I can feel his lips nearby earlobe, and his breath makes my own breath hitch. You are mine, Riven. Mine. And as soon as you admit that fact, you'll be happy. Otherwise, I can't promise you anything. Oh my God. My days of freedom are so over. As soon as the words are spoken, he is off of me and standing by the door like nothing happened. We stare each other for God knows how long. As we study each other for few moments, I take notice of few subtle marks on his arms and what appears to be a necklace around his neck. He starts to walk away before shooting me one last look. I follow him, knowing if I don't, he will freak out again, and we make our to the bonfire. The whole way was filled with an uncomfortable and awkward silence, but I thank Goddess for that. I don't think I could make conversation after what just happened. This is the first time someone held me so intimately. I have never been touched by a male like that before, not because I was saving myself for my mate, but because I was never interested. And now all of this is happening with me. I don't know how to react in this situation. We exit the pack house and walk back to the field where the bonfire will be held. Wolves from around the world were all gathered here, and it is truly an amazing sight. We make our way through the wolves and stop only when people want to talk to Xaden about pack matter or to congratulate him on finding his mate. Not once I have been asked how I am feeling, but I am thankful for that. I don't like to wearing fake smile all the time, it only makes my jaw sore. Plus, I don't really know how to react if they are going to congratulate me too. Not once my mate held my hand like other couples here. I wonder how would it feel to hold his hand in front of everyone. Yes, I am not the most romantic person in this world, but for once I would like to experience it. We make it to what I hope will be our final destination, and I spot Emma with Lorcan's arm around her waist. She seems truly happy to be with him, and my heart is filled with happiness for her. At least one of us is happy. The feeling is soon replaced by confusion and sadness and hurt when I realize my mate is the only male without his touch or even gaze on me. As if he's ashamed of me. I do understand I may not be the best mate, but I am not that bad either. I am confused because I still am not sure where my relationship is going with my mate, but I am also feeling sad and hurt because I think my mate is not happy to be with me. But then again, why would he? We just met and haven't had proper conversation. I look at the ground ashamed that Xaden doesn't want to show everyone that I am his mate. He seems fine stating I am his when we are in private, but avoids me like a plague when we are in public. I think he is bipolar. Maybe he doesn't really want us, maybe he's only looking for a Luna and not a mate. My wolf chimed in. My spirit lightened up after hearing the sound of my wolf. Rhea, how are you? Where have you been? I missed you, I said, in my head enthusiastically. I missed you too. I am fine. I was disheartened. Riven by the behavior of our mate. He is so indifferent to us. I was afraid that he will reject us, so I took my leave. She replied with sadness in her voice. So you are back now? Don't you ever do that to me again. I was worried about you. Doesn't matter if our mate doesn't love us, but I will always love you. You already know how much I love you, so maybe next time, even if you want to leave, just let me know. I will give you as much time as you want, but please don't ever leave me again without saying anything. I am sorry, Riven, but don't worry. I am feeling better now. Today, when Xaden said we are his, it assured me that he is not going to reject us. So you are here because of that moment, and not because of me. And here I was worried sick about you, I said with a slight disappointment. Sorry, Riven, but I was scared. You already know the meaning of a mate for us wolves. They are the other half of our soul. But I still am not sure whether he is happy with us or sad. I can't reach out to his wolf. Wait, what? What do you mean you can't reach out to his wolf? I mean that Xaden is purposely blocking his wolf from contacting me. But why? This is confusing. I am not sure, but I can make a wild guess that he is doing it on purpose. Because everyone know that if our wolves contact with each other, the mate bond will develop even more quickly. So, is that why you were upset? Yes. I am happy that we found our mate, but something is not right. At first I thought he is going to reject us, but now I am not sure. That's why I left. I was preparing myself for the rejection. It's okay, Rhea. I do understand. You don't have to apologize for anything. I love you. Just promise me that you won't leave me again like this. I love you too, and I promise, Riven, I won't do it again. I feel much better after hearing the voice of my wolf. But I do feel a little hurt, though, that even when we are not mated yet, his words can have such a great effect on us. But what can I do? It's true that if your mate rejects you, you will feel the most crucial pain in your entire body and soul. For a moment your senses are blocked, and black spot starts dancing in front of your eyes, and not to mention your wolf will feel everything even more than you, so it is kind of scary. But there is a possibility that Rhea is right. Maybe he only wants a Luna and not a mate. I feel my water, but quickly blink them away. What kind of a Luna would I be if I cried over the way my mate showed his affection to me, assuming that I even become his Luna? One who cares. One who cares. The sudden voice in my head made me jump in surprise, and I accidentally bump into Zayden, and as always, he gave me an annoyed look and continued walking to whoever he was before my interruption. Seriously, what's the problem with this person? Why can't he just smile a little like normal people? I look around to check the source of sudden voice in my head, but found no one around. Strange? I thought in my head. Was it my hallucination? So I am hearing weird voices in my head now? Wow. So I am finally going insane now, thanks to the mate bond, I guess. This stupid bond first messed up with Rhea first, and now my head. Perfect. I feel a heated gaze on me, and I turn around to see Zayden looking at me and giving me a, "Are you insane?" kind of look with a frown on his face. I laugh nervously. Sorry, I got lost in my thoughts for a moment. Then again he gave me an whatever and just go to hell, look and turned around again. My ears perked when I hear the sound of few people laughing, none of them from my mates, and look around to see about 5 or 6 people smiling at me. All of them seemed too old to have partaken in the gathering this year, or this decade. And then suddenly it struck in my mind that they are the elders, the ones I hate, the ones who never take a fair decision. They are the main root of hypocrisy in our society. They are the ones who set the stupid rules of the hunt. They are the ones who decided that a female can't rule. They are the ones who decided that women should only stay at home and take care of the children and not in the fields. Thank God. I practiced with Ronan and one of his friend, who's a head warrior's son. We used to train on the other side of forest, secretly. I look at them and give them a tight smile. A woman with grayish-black hair speaks up. "It's okay, dear. We just wanted to know, how are you taking all this? Your parents mentioned in our earlier conversation that you were less than thrilled to be attending this year's festivities. Is that right?" With a small smile, I asked them politely, "Not to be rude, but may I ask who you all are? I am not familiar with your faces, but if you know my parents, I've probably heard your names." The same woman lets out another laugh and said, "We are the elders, my dear, but I think that part you already know of. It is quite all right that you do not know our faces because we take on many forms." I give them a confused look. What does that mean, that they take on many forms? I feel a hand on my waist and a squeeze with bunch of sparks that run through my entire back. I can only assume that is from Zayden. He is probably upset that I've embarrassed him in front of the highest, most respected ranking wolves. Elders rarely interact with common wolves. And they are interacting with me. Seriously, me, I am nobody. My apologies, Your Honors. Had I been paying more attention, this mistake would not have happened. I take full responsibility of it. Although it was my mouth moving, it was Rhea's voice that came out. She was talking through me like it was nothing. "It is all right, Rhea. We understand no female wolf had had much time to prepare their human." Rhea nods my head and retreats back. I am sure my face must be one of complete confusion, but the elders just smile at me and walk away. What the hell was that? I ask the question to no one in particular. Zayden, whose hand is still there on my waist, looks down at me. His gaze is quite soft for once, and I fidget the unfamiliar look. His eyes looks away from mine and stares at the fire. I do so, as well as he speaks. "That was the elders. They called your wolf forward." "What? But why?" "They can do that. They were letting your wolf speak through you. It appears there is something they see in you and your wolf that has led them to their decision." "What decision?" Without answering my question, Zayden removes his hand from my waist. He gives me a look that I have not seen before, the look of adoration and admiration which is quite strange coming from him. Reluctantly, I break our stare game, and then he walks away from me. I follow him with my eyes and watch him go, talk to another male. I choose my next move deliberately, knowing that it will make him mad, but I need time for myself. I walk towards the fire and sit close enough to feel the heat on my exposed skin. I look around again to see all the couples wrapped up in each other and just being happy. I am unsure if the decision I made was the right one. Maybe, just maybe, Xaden would be better off with a girl like a Victoria. She is outspoken and got what she wanted. Despite being the most ruthless alpha in this region, she fought his mate in front him, aka me. You need to have guts to do that in front of everyone. And I am sure in a pack like his, she would be a perfect Luna. On the other hand, I am still not sure how I am so supposed to feel. Raya is already heartbroken because of our mate's behavior. I don't want to hurt her further by rejecting him, but I also know that I don't like being with him. He is so cold and distant. Everything is even more complicated now, and I am not sure what to do anymore. How am I supposed to interact with a person who is not ready to show me his emotional side? How am I supposed to talk to him if he'll always be so aloof? How am I going to survive as his mate? How am I going to be his Luna if he can't stand by me for more than 5 minutes? Oh, Moon Goddess, please help me. I look around again to see all the couples wrapped up in each other, whispering sweet words in their mates' arms, to which their mates' eyes twinkle with mischief, and just being happy. And here I am, sitting in front of the fire, staring into nothingness. I am thinking about nothing, but at the same time, everything. I am thinking how my life changed in just few hours, and I am not even sure that this new life will bring me happiness or sorrows or heartbreaks. All of it is so confusing. Before I get a chance to think further, I feel a body slip beside mine. I instantly recognize him immediately as my brother. Scent fill my nostrils, which is now mixed with something else like a mix of fresh green grass, with his scent of first rain of the season. I guess he already marked his mate and vice versa. Both of their scent is a perfect mixture. But I can't ask them directly as much as I love my brother, and we have a special bond. Still, I don't want to invade their privacy. Hey, Rinny, how are you liking the mated life? Who's your mate anyway, and most importantly, where is he? His question startled me a bit. I assumed till now everyone knew about it already, and him asking a question like that means either he has no been paying attention, or maybe he just arrived. Not wanting to talk about it, I quickly changed the topic. The mated life is everything I expected it to be. Too much. But let it be. Let's talk about your mate for a bit. I saw you with a redhead back in the field. Who's she? And most importantly, how is she? What's her name? I asked with curiosity. I wanted to know who's the next Luna of me pack. Her name is Missy. She was tired, so she's in the cabin right now, but I know you'll love her. She is from the neighboring pack and a beta's daughter. She's kind. I hope the elders make their decision in favor of her, he said with those dreamy eyes. Oh yeah, right. What's the whole decision thing anyway? I tried asking Zez, my mate, but he wouldn't say. Ronan eyes me skeptically, but answers my question, unlike my mate, who just walked way as if I simply doesn't exist for him. Did you not pay attention to anything in lessons? The elders have the final say on whether you are fit to be Luna or not. Wait, did you talk to them already? I nodded, still confused. What did they say? Nothing really. They did let my wolf talk through me, which was odd, but they smiled before they walked away. My brother smiled and gave me a side hug, and I hugged him back, not caring about the fact that later, Xaden is going to sue me for this, because right now, I am wearing his hoodie, and Ronan is unintentionally leaving his scent on his hoodie. But it doesn't matter to me. Ronan have always been my best buddy and brother, so I love him, and who knows, maybe this is the last time I am getting hugged by my own brother. Congrats, Rinny. They accepted you to be a Luna. From now on, Mom and Dad doesn't have to worry about you. Now you have someone in your life who will love you and will take care of you forever. I am happy for you, sis. Yeah, right? I can be happy with the love of my life, and that's me and my wolf, no one else. I love me and Rhea. For me, love my mate first. He needs to earn my respect first. Then we'll talk about love. I know I am being stubborn and selfish, but I have no shame admitting it. For me, my happiness comes first. If I am happy, then only I can make others happy. And I am definitely not happy. We talked for about 10 more minutes. I asked him more questions about his mate. I so want to meet my sister-in-law, but now is not the time. I didn't say anything after a bit. After that, he got up and walked away. Before I had time to think deeper and dive into the world of my wild thoughts, I saw Emma and her mate Lorcan walking towards me with a worried expression. "Riven, where have you been? I have been looking for you everywhere. We need to talk about this whole situation and Emma was suddenly interrupted by her mate's arms around her waist. "Hi, Luna. Sorry we haven't got a chance to meet each other properly, but I am Lorcan King, brother and beta of Alpha King. Why are you sitting here alone? I can't imagine my brother leaving you unattended with all these males around, especially not while you are still unmarked." "Nice to meet you, Lorcan, and please call me Riven, just like Emma here. Congratulations, you have found you mate as incredible as Emma." Emma blushes at my statement. "And speaking of your brother, aka Alpha King, I have no idea where that male is, and I don't really care at the moment because I needed a moment alone for myself. He obviously hasn't noticed I am gone, so it can't be that big of a deal." The moment I said it, his eyes glossed over as if he was mind-linking someone. When he came back to, he looked worried again as before. "We need get back to the cabin. Zayden has noticed you're missing and is not pleased." I nodded, knowing there was no way to avoid this. I followed Emma and Lorcan silently back to the cabin and prepared myself for the lecture I was about to get. There was nothing I could do, so it's better to fight back with, and I just needed to pick my own battles. I followed Lorcan and Emma back to the cabin and prepared myself for the lecture I was about to get. There was nothing I could do to really fight back with, and I just needed to pick my battles. No one else will fight them for me, not Emma, not Lorcan, and not even my brother. It's just me and him, and if everything goes well, it will be only us for the rest of our lives. Even though we were all going to be staying in the same cabin, Lorcan and Emma dropped me off at the door and told me that they were going for a walk. Either they think that Zayden and I are going to spend some lovey-dovey moments together, or they are doing it for themselves. Great. Now I get to face his wrath alone. I walked in to see the cabin still neat and clean and felt a little better. Maybe he isn't too mad then. I walked further in and didn't think he was even in the cabin until I felt him behind me. "Tsk, tsk, tsk. Little girl, what did I tell you about listening to me? That's strike one. And why do I smell another male's scent on you, and that too, of extremely strong pheromones on your clothes? Look at that. Strike two. One more strike, and you are out," he whispered in my ear devilishly. The whole time he spoke, his lips were pressed against my ear, and he was gripping my waist with such force I thought I was going to break. His voice was doing something in my chore that I have never felt before. Is it lust? Is it fear? I am not sure. The only thing I know is this feeling is completely unknown to me. "Answer me, pup. It's important for us to talk. It would be shame for me to jump onto judgments without hearing you out, no?" He whispered in same tone with a hidden warning in his voice, as if he was saying that you better speak the truth, or you are dead. I just needed time to think. I mean, I wanted to spend some time alone, so I was near the bonfire, and the scent you're referring to is my brother's. Those pheromones you smell is because he also participated in the hunt and found his mate. And he recently marked his mate, so I was congratulating him. We talked for some time, and that's how I got carried away. I answered him truthfully. "Now please, will you let me go?" I wanted to order him to leave me alone, but it came out more as a plea. "Let you go?" he questioned. Now, why would I do that? He further added with an unknown emotion in his tone. "Why would I let you go? You are mine, and if I feel like holding you, then I will hold you, and no one can stop me." The words were surely meant to show ownership. Some part of me, though, felt pride that he did, in fact, want to hold me. His grip, however, only tightened, and my next words were almost whimpers. "You are hurting me. You haven't felt pain, girl. Just know that." With those final words, he let me go and walked to the kitchen, leaving me in the entryway with the unshed tears in my eyes. He left me like I am nobody to him. Now my thoughts are confirmed that this was a big mistake. I should have rejected him when I had the chance, but now I am stuck with him. He's slowly making me and my wolf weak, and if this goes on, I am afraid that Rhea will leave me again. And I don't think I will blame her if she did. I stood in the doorway for what felt like years before Emma and Lorcan walked in. The moment Emma walked in and looked at me, I knew I was done for. I completely lost it. The tears started flowing like a river, and I melted into her open arms. Hey, it's okay, what's going on? She tried to console me. I shook my head, not wanting her to get upset for me. However, she is the daughter of a beta, and she's smart. It didn't take time for her to put two and two together. Where is he? I am not going to let him do this to you, she said with determination, but I knew better, that it's fruitless to tell her anything. There's nothing she can do about it. Let it be Emma. It's fine. Really, it is. It is my fault anyway. I knew what I was getting into. I shook my head to stop her. Are you the same Riven I met yesterday? Because you are behaving like someone else? How can you let him do this to you? He needs to understand that you are his mate, his Luna, the other half of his soul that makes you his equal, and that's why he can't treat you like his damn property. You can do whatever you like, mate, or not. Now where is he? She was almost seething at the end of her statement. I didn't respond, and she set off in search of my mate, and I was left with an uncomfortable-looking Lorcan in awkward silence. Sorry about all this. I assure you, I am not always this emotional. It's been a stressful week. Lorcan nodded and started to walk into the house. He only made it a few steps before he stopped and turned to look at me. As a Luna, I should hope you are not always this emotional. We would be seen as weak. A Luna is supposed to have a well-balance of her emotions, and something tells me that with time, you will become better and will be a great Luna. However, I do recognize that your situation isn't the usual case. He paused for a moment, debating on whether or not he should continue. I wish I could tell you that he wasn't always like this, but I cannot. He has been a dick since the beginning. And I can't say that you are a lucky person to have him as a mate. I am your beta, and I don't want to lie to you. Take care. With that, he turned around and left me in the entryway. What do you think about the character of Xaden? Do you think he's being a jerk to his mate? Or do you think that Riven is too stubborn? Please share your views in the comment box. I would love to know what you think about Emma and Lorcan. I wish I could tell you that he wasn't always like this, but I cannot. He has been a dick since the beginning. And I can't say that you are a lucky person to have him as a mate. I am your beta, and I don't want to lie to you. Take care. With that, he turned around and left me in the entryway. He gave me a small smile and turned around to look for his mate. I am not sure if that was him trying to comfort me or not. He was right, though. Me being an emotional wreck would look bad on their pack, and it's not like crying is going to help me in any way or solve my problem. But what I said is the truth. I was never like this. I am not an emotional person, but this mate bond is destroying the real me. I won't let this happen again. I will not cry for a person who treats me like a piece of shit. Deciding that it was late, I went up to a spare bedroom. I don't know how Xaden feels about me, but I know if I see him right now, I'll be a mess all over again. Plus, I don't want to share bedroom with him. I am not ready for that. I need more time to think anyway, even if that's what got me into this whole mess. Feeling tired and a little gross, I entered into the bathroom directly. I stripped out of his hoodie and my leggings before starting the shower. Once it was hot enough, I discarded my underwear and hopped in, without adjusting the water temperature. The water burned as it rolled off my body, but I made no move to cool it down. The fire that was growing in the pit of my stomach was bothering me much more than the water temperature. I heard footsteps coming down the hallway, and then heard the bedroom door open. I am not too worried about it being an intruder. I am in a cabin with two males having alpha blood. I have no reason not to feel safe. There's some shuffling, but eventually, the person leaves, and I am left with my own thoughts once again. Once I have washed my body, being careful not to push too hard on my now bruised hips, I exit the shower and wrap a towel around my wet body. I looked into the mirror and see my dull eyes with no shine rimmed with red color. What a tragic sight I am. I need to get my emotions in check. I won't let Zadin control me, but his behavior is making my wolf weak. If by any chance Rhea leave me again, I will leave him too and will never forgive him. I turn and leave the bathroom to see clothes neatly folded on the bed. Next to the clothing is a note that reads, "I am sorry that your mate is jerk. I am sorry that I left you alone with him, and I am also sorry that I cannot do anything about it, but I also hope that it makes you feel better. XOXO, Emma." I picked up the first article of clothing, realizing it's a hoodie. A man's hoodie. His hoodie. Under the hoodie was a pair of sweatpants that I would drown in, but they looked comfortable still. I don't have my clothes here yet. I don't want to wear his clothes, but I know his scent will make my wolf feel better. So I pulled on the black hoodie, taking in his scent, and silently thanking the blonde wonder that is Emma. How she got these, I have no clue, but I am still thankful. As I picked up the pants, I noticed what looked like boxers and another note. In case the pants are way too big, don't worry, they are clean. I smiled at Emma's message and slid the boxers on. They were still a little too big, but they were soft. Rhea purred inside my head as her nostrils taste the scent of her mate. "You are behaving like a dog, Rhea." "Can't help it," she replied sheepishly. I crawled into the soft bed and stared up at the ceiling. How could I go from hating the idea of the man that is my mate to needing his scent after he hurt me? What have I become? I feel so lost. My emotions are all over the place. Today has been eventful, and I am glad that it's finally coming to an end, even if it's not by my mate's sight. I was nearly asleep when I heard heavy footsteps racing down the hall. They slowed as they got to my door, and I hoped whoever that person is, it would be better stayed out. "Brother?" "Leave her be. She's had a stressful enough day without you prolonging it." "You will not tell me what to do with my mate, Lorcan." "I am not telling you to do anything, Zayden. I am just saying she needs space. You are a lot to acclimate to, especially in one night. Just give her a little time to process this." "I do not care if I am a lot. She is my mate, and we will sleep in the same bed whether she is upset or not." The door flew open, but I made no move to make it known that I was awake. Seeing that I was asleep, the two brothers hushed their argument to a whisper, and eventually the door closed, with who I assumed was Zayden still in the room. The footsteps became louder as Zayden made his way to the bed. He lifted the covers and took in a sharp breath. I am assuming it was because of what I was wearing, but I wasn't about to ask him. He slid into bed with me and pulled me to his chest. It was a possessive hold for sure, but I would take anything at this point. I relaxed into him, instantly giving away that I was awake, but he did not let me go. I tensed as I felt his breath by my ear, waiting for the harsh words he would hit me with, but they never came. Instead, his tone was soft, exhausted even. "Sleep, mate. We will discuss tonight's events tomorrow." His words did not put me at ease, but they did not frighten me either. I focused on his heart that I wasn't sure he had, and slowly fell asleep to the rhythm with his heartbeat. Who else think that Zayden's behavior is confusing? Do you think he is bipolar? Please comment and share your views with me. I woke up with a slight headache, swollen eyes, and an uncomfortable pressure on my already bruised hips. Not wanting to wake up early, I closed my eyes again and snuggled in my pillow more. Wow, pillows in this cabin are even more comfortable. And they also have a heartbeat. Wait, pillow with a heartbeat? I opened my eyes to see a naked chest and let out a breath of annoyance. For being an Alpha's kid, I sure am weak-minded. How could I let him hold me after last night? "But he's our mate," Rhea whined. "I know, but after what he did last night, I will never forget and forgive him so easily." She huffed, but still retreated in the back of my mind. I pushed his arms off me and attempted to remove myself from him and then the bed. I did not make it very far. As the second my feet hit the floor, he spoke. "And where do you think you're going?" he said in his morning voice. I froze for a moment. It worth getting in a fight over? Probably not. Am I going to walk on eggshells for the rest of my life around him? Definitely not. I am going to be the strong Luna, as I was raised to be, and that includes not cowering down to my mate. He can do whatever he wants. I never questioned him. I didn't raise my voice when he himself left me to socialize with others. I never complained when he didn't even bother to introduce me to others as his mate. Then he definitely don't have the right to question me. Without responding to him, I made my way to the bathroom. He let out a deep growl, no doubt at my blatant disrespect. I shut the bathroom door and did my business. I walked out expecting him to have stormed out of the room, just like last night, but instead, he was sitting on the bed looking at me. His eyes dragged up and down my body before he walked over to me. His steps were slow and deliberate. His eyes never once left time, and the look he gave me was one of lust, and something a little more sinister. Once he was in front of me, he leaned down and put his face in my neck. This whole time I watched him, not moving. I felt his mouth open, and for a moment I feared that he would mark me, but thank goddess he didn't. He stand back straight and said, "We have a lot to discuss, little girl. If my tally is correct, you're on strike too." He raised his hands, and then they made their way to my hips. I tensed, hoping he wouldn't squeeze. Instead, he lifted the sweatshirt just enough to expose the bruises to the cold air. He looked at them for a moment before his eyes came back to mine. "I meant what I said last night. You haven't felt pain, little girl. Don't strike out with me, girl. I have been generous enough. Strike 3 will lead to one thing and one thing only." Finding my voice, I spoke as strongly and firmly as I could. And what is that? Dominance. There are many ways I can think to do so, and with you looking like you do in my clothes, I can only imagine what you'll look like in my mark. It took me only a split second to realize what he was inferring. To mark me by force would be an ultimate way to dominate me and make me submit to him and his wolf, and there would be no way for me to fend him off. I'll let you think through your next actions for a moment. I am going to get us some food from the kitchen. When I come back, we'll see if this new attitude of yours persists. With that, he was out of the door and making his way down the hall. When he got back, I was sitting on the chair beside the window. Silently, he placed a bowl of fruit down on the bedside and walked to the bathroom. I heard the shower start, and I decided to leave. I took the fruit with me and made my way to the kitchen to see Emma and Lorcan wrapped up in each other. I couldn't help but feel envious of their relationship. They are so happy with each other. But I can't complain. I should have rejected him when I had the chance, but I am happy for my friend. They both make a nice couple. I clear my throat. Will you two make babies somewhere other than the kitchen, please? Emma's face went red, and Lorcan rolled his eyes at me. They did separate, and the moment they did, Emma pulled me into a tight hug that was enough to crush my ones if I were a normal wolf. But thank goddess, I have alpha blood in me. How are you feeling? I see you like the gifts I brought you. The moment she said those words, my mood was spoiled once again. But I can't let her see that she only did it to make me feel better. Yeah, it was good. I was feeling gross in my previous clothes, so the ones you brought me were comfortable enough to sleep. With that statement, I brushed off her statement. Rolling her eyes, Emma walked back over to Lorcan and gave him a long kiss, and then pulled me out of the room and to the living room. Once again, I felt something in my heart to see them so in love. While my mate don't have the decency to wish me good morning, but instead, he wished me with a good warning. In the living room, there were racks and racks of dress for today's events. It was customary for the women to wear their new PAX colors, and the men to wear a suit with the PAX crest on the chest. The blood moon. PAC color is gray and green, and as expected, so were all the dresses. There were short dresses for the ceremony and long gowns for the dinner. I hope everything goes well tonight. I hope tonight's dinner take a better in our relationship, because clearly I can't live like this. Oh, Moon Goddess, help me tonight. Please let me know, what do you think of this chapter? Your comments means a lot to me. Emma is ecstatic for tonight more than necessary. Emma pulled me to the rack of short dresses and threw many gray dresses at me. I have decided that we are going to wear gray color dress for the ceremony and the green gown for the dinner. What do you think? I shrugged, not wanting to say anything in response. She rolled her eyes and continued searching for the perfect dress. So it's settled then, because clearly you are not helping me here. Here are the ones that I have selected for the ceremony, and don't worry about the evening gown, I've got it covered. Hey, why are you still sitting here? Go and try these dresses on and show me." I was sent to the bathroom to try on the dresses I was allowed to. Most were immediate numbers, but some others weren't so bad. I decided on a mid-thigh length piece that had beaded high neck, featuring a sheer illusion high neckline with a racerback design. Intricate crystal rhinestone beading throughout this stunning cocktail dress. The dress sparkled in the light. I put it on and walked out, see Emma sigh in relief. Thank goddess. You chose that dress. Some of them were terrible. This one looks much better than the other ones. Now go and change back and meet me in my room. We will be getting ready in my room and have a girl talk," she said enthusiastically. "About?" I asked in confusion. She rolled her eyes again. "Everything and anything we can think of. Now that we both have our mates, they are rarely going to leave us alone, because you already know that newly mated couples are extremely possessive. So that's why I want to have a chat with you just like before." I nodded and I entered into the bathroom again to change back into my previous clothes. When I came back, Emma already took our dresses to her room. I thought about what she said. She said she wanted to talk about things, and I am sure she wants to talk about our mates, the one topic that I used to hate, and now my hatred is only growing for him. But still, I did as I was told, and my way to her room. When I got upstairs, Zayden was coming out of my bedroom, and he did not look pleased. But then again, he is never pleased, especially with me. "Why did you leave the room? I brought you food so you would stay put," he said, is that deep voice that Rhea love. But I don't. Instead, I find it annoying. And stay put with what? Him? Never. Not putting up with his today, I rolled my eyes. 1, a bowl of fruit is not breakfast. 2, I went to find Emma so we could ready for today's ceremony and dinner. Now, is there any problem with that Alpha? Okay, so maybe the last part was not true. I only came out of the room so I can avoid him, but using Emma and today's ceremony as an excuse only came out in reflex. But we did need to get ready, so he can't get mad at me for that. He huffed in annoyance and pushed past me, down the stairs. I rolled my eyes again and walked into Emma's room and set the dress on the bed. Emma came in after soon and we started getting ready. I noticed her dress was of dark gray shade and it was pretty short. Her dress had beaded piece presents a halter neckline with fitted bodice styled with a strappy back. The skirt formed a fitted silhouette and runs at mid-thigh hem. Make it look fun and flirty, which is totally her. I am sure she chose extra short dress to tease Lorcan, but the dark gray shade of the dress will definitely complement with her skin color, and after what felt like hours. Emma was finally done. She left her straight and went for a natural look, but damn did it take forever. I opted to put my curly hair up in a high ponytail because I can't always take care of my hair during the entire ceremony. I also went for a natural look, but mine took considerably less time than Emma. That's also because I don't like much makeup on my skin, and I don't know how to do it. And also, because I have had a very dear friend once advised me to keep it simple, Riven, because there is so much of you, and let it come out. Take off the jewelry, take off whatever. Keep it really simple. Give me just white, let me see you. And I started doing that and recognized the fact that every time a woman keeps it simple, she allows more of herself to be seen, and the ones who hide behind extra layers of makeup, it shows that they are not sure of her own personality. That's the best fashion advice I have received in my entire life. We put our dresses on and made our way downstairs. The boys had left, and we needed to get to the field soon, or we would be late, but it's like Emma doesn't want to leave her room. After what felt like decades, she came out of her room, and then we together left our cabin to reach the fields. I just hope everything goes fine during the ceremony. I hope I don't embarrass Zayden's pack or my now old pack. My palms are sweating already. I don't care what Zayden think of me, but I do care what his pack think of me. I am going to be their Luna, so I definitely need their approval and acceptance. But I am also not sure that if Zayden is going to announce my name and introduce me as his mate in front of everybody, I hope this ceremony passes smoothly. After finally putting our dresses and makeup, we made our way downstairs. The boys had left, and we needed to get to the field soon or we would be late. The field was cleared of any sign that a fire had taken place the night before and looked beautiful. The decorations were beyond the perfection. There was a stage in front where the current leaders sat, and there were benches for the rest of us to sit. Because Lorcan and Zayden were already leading their packs, Emma and I would have to sit by ourselves on the benches. When it was the Blood Eclipse pack, they would state who we were and acknowledge the warriors who found their mates and other members as well. Looking at all the girls here, not one of them didn't look great. Missy was wearing a white dress, which makes her look like an angel, and breathtaking. I am sure she would be an amazing Luna. Her red hairs are pulled into side braid with moonflowers on it. My brother is really lucky. I so want to meet her in person, but I guess that will to wait until the dinner. Turning around, my eyes fell on Victoria. She was wearing a dark brown dress that only she can pull off. Emma and I made to our seats and waited for the ceremony to begin. The ceremony started with the Cosmos pack, which is said to be one of the oldest pack of the history. It is said that their pack has the maximum number of golden wolves, which means they have special blessings of the moon goddess, because her mate Endymion was originally from Cosmos pack. She had her first daughter on their lands, so that's why the wolves in their packs are extremely strong. One by one, other packs stood as the mates were announced. All looked happy, and it surprised me that Victoria's mate was a warrior and not an alpha. He would take the title as alpha, but it did not happen often. When it was Blood Eclipse pack's turn, everyone waited silently. I was getting nervous. So many thoughts were going through my mind. What if he rejects me? What if he doesn't acknowledge me as his mate? What if people suspects our relationship because we have not marked each other yet? All of this felt so overwhelming. I felt like I was going to faint, but the Zaden stood up and made his way towards the stage. When he reached there, I realized that he looks good up there. His gray and suit was tailored perfectly to his frame, complementing his wide frame. His face beautiful, but remained stoic. I wonder if he ever smiled in his life. When he spoke, the whole place listened. He had a command to his voice that will make you go weak in the knees. Or maybe it is just me. As Alpha of the Blood Eclipse pack, I would like to congratulate my warriors here for finding their mates and my pack members too. As all of you know, this was the 5th year not having a mate by my side. As many of you have figured out, this year I found her. In fact, my brother and your beta has found his mate as well, and as it is my duty, I will present them to you all now. My beta's mate name is Emma Marks, and my mate name is Riven Adams. His eyes met mine as I stood upon my name being called, and the whole crowd clapped on the news, and some of the members even howled and whistled. I sat down, still making eyes contact, and waited for the ceremony to conclude. Next, it was my brother's turn. I felt so proud of him. I am sure he could felt that too through our bond because he looked at me with a smile during his speech. The elders ended the ceremony by congratulating everyone, while me and Emma waited for our mates to exit the main field and walk us back to our cabin. Zayden offered his arm, as all the males did, and without wasting time, I took it. We made our way to the cabin in silence, and once we got there, I went straight to the room. This whole time, only there was one thing going through my mind, and that was, he actually accepted me as his mate in front of everyone. And here I was, going crazy thinking that he will actually reject me in front of everyone. But then he never gave me a reason for not believing it. At least the ceremony is over peacefully without any quarreling. He followed me, and once we were in the room, I made my way to the bed. I sat down and watched him watch me. For a moment there was just us, and the complete, peaceful silence in the room. I can't say it felt comfortable, but it neither felt uncomfortable. He walked to me and grabbed my hands to guide me up. I stood, looking at him in confusion. He walked me to the center of the room and then let go of me. Standing there like an idiot, I watched as he circled me. It was like he was assessing me for damage. Other than the bruises, which had started to fade by now, I was fine, but felt curious for a moment. He stopped in front of me and stepped close. Something about this interaction was so peaceful, neither of us spoke, but it felt as if the silence and the serenity in the atmosphere was trying to tell us something. Something unknown, but something beautiful.